So, welcome to Hurlingham at Home. What to do during lockdown. So, we've decided to a series of dishes and recipes, and I decided to cook the first ones for you. Obviously, I'm going to be helped by a little helper, and we thought it's a very nice exercise to get the family involved. So, they are at home as well. So, my little helper, Sebastian, who's going to help me film my cooking extravaganza here. So, if I turn this camera around, like so, you will see what we're going to do today. Today, this dish is called Gemista, which is a Cypriot dish. It's stuffed vegetables, and it's a beautiful dish just before Easter. In Cyprus, there's a 40-day Lent period where the strict Orthodox Greeks eat vegetables and mainly vegetable dishes for Lent. So, as I said, living in Cyprus, this was something that I enjoyed a lot. And this is a dish that I've got to know when visiting the little villages in Cyprus. So, Gemista, we've got aubergine here, which I've already grilled in the oven. We've got zucchini, which I hollowed out. And then we've got tomatoes here, which have been hollowed out as well. And I'll tell you a little secret about this in a second, how to get that done properly. Over here, you've got the rice, which is traditional pudding rice. You've got your stock, which is tomato puree and stock, the vegetables which go inside, some mushrooms, very important here, the single malt, and sorry, not single malt, you can see what I'm thinking of already. It's single estate olive oil, and then you've got all of your tools that go with it. And I forgot the peppers, which we'll stuff as well, so I've already taken two out and hollowed them out. Good, all right, I'm going to hand over now to my little helper, who is going to film, and he's going to take the camera now. So let me just get all of that stuff, move it aside. Okay, so what we've got over here is our pot. We've put some plain vegetable oil in, switch on my induction stove, switch on and get it to a nice heat. And don't get it too hot, around a 6 on the scale here of 10. So wait for this to get nice and warm. So first in would be the onions. So a trick I would like to show you is, and that is what I was asked in my interview, is if I can chop an onion. And I said, well, I think I can quite fast, seeing that I've learned how to do it when I was a chef. So let's see if I can still do it. So what you do is you just try to not cut your fingers, obviously. And then you cut little brunoise, just like this. And you know, the best thing to do is at the end, you just turn it around, turn the bit around, and there we go. So it's almost perfect, almost I say. There we go. This is, I put to my other onions. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my board and put all the ingredients together into the pot. Sebastian, got to film me, huh? Into the pot. So there we go. Put everything in. You can hear it is simmering already. Beautiful. Make sure that you distribute everything nicely. So I think I'm going to turn it down a little bit more. The nice thing about induction, it gets hot very quickly and instantly. So now let's hollow out some more of the vegetables. Okay, so we take the pepper, cut off the top. We do need the top later, so the way I've cut it is that automatically after cutting, the top comes out immediately. So you've got this bit which you need to keep. Then you hollow out, and another trick of the trade is when you cut a vegetable like this, you always have your thumb as a guide so that you don't cut deeper, because if you cut deeper, you cut your hand. So obviously you cut it like this. Make sure that the guide guides your blade. You take the inner out, yeah, like this, give it a good knock, and then just cut the edge a little bit so that it will stand nicely in your pot or in your roasting tin. Okay, so we've got this. Then we do the tomatoes, as I said. Cut the tomato, we cut the head off, or the lid of the tomato. We take a second knife, and we do exactly the same. We hold the knife like this, so that we just go in there and press down on the center, like this, and release the top. Then what I do is I do the same way, cut around the sides, yeah, and I'm going to do it over my little container over here. And then I take a grapefruit spoon, which has got serrated edges, and just take out the inner, because we need this for the stock. So just make sure that everything comes out nicely. We empty the tomato, and as I said at the beginning, I'm going to show you a little trick of how to get all the fluid out. I'm sure a lot of you will know it, but just take a little bit of salt. The salt will distract, and I'm going to put it upside down on this side over here with all my lids. Okay, so I've got all the lids here. Again, give this a good stir. Make sure, in the chefing terms, we call this, you sweat the onions. Okay. You make sure that the onions go nice, glazy. Sorry, a bit of an edge. Now turn it up a bit of control. And always clean as you go, as I say. So you take all this stuff and you put it in your bin. Normally I like working over here because I can peel, I open the bin and all my bits go in there. But for filming's sake, I'm going to cut it right over here. So what I'm going to do is with my faithful peeler, peel the carrots quickly, boom, boom, boom. Oops. Like this. Cut the ends off. Cut the bottom bit. Okay. And then you rest the carrot on its base. And what we're going to do is cut brunoise, okay? So we're going to cut little brunoise. Normally a brunoise is 2 millimeters by 2 millimeters in size. So you've got these bits like this, and you just cut them like this into little, try to make them the same size squares. Do the same here again. Like this, boom, boom, boom. And you do exactly the same again. And you can talk to you whilst I'm doing it without cutting myself, I hope. That's why I'm wearing a red shirt, in case, you know, I burn. Alright, so as we've got this now, we are going to make sure, still glazing, we're going to put in the carrots, and add the carrots, because the carrots take the longest to actually cook. And at the same time, we're going to take our tray here again, as I mentioned. Boom, boom, boom. Put this in here. Okay, clean as you go. There we are. Okay. Next one is a celery stick. Very important with the celery. Got to give it a good clean. Like we have to do everything nowadays, unfortunately, with the covered around. Let's see how this is. So I'll give this a good stir. Yeah, you can see it's coming on nicely. Turn this down a little bit more. Okay. We do exactly the same with the celery. So when you cut it, make sure you cut little strips like this. So they look like this, yeah. And then you do exactly the same. Let's see, do this one here. You do exactly the same. You cut them. I say I've got a very bad habit of always putting out my tongue when I cut, but it's because I concentrate and don't want to cut myself. So there we go, another secret. So here, put this in here. Again, make sure that we get everything in. It's actually a very easy dish to prepare. Just a lot of cutting that needs to be done. So you stir this around. Take the other celery, which I already cut. Put that in here. There we are. Okay. There we go. So now it's got some nice color here. Yeah. Okay. What we can do is put a little pot, we're going to put a little lid on to make sure that it sweats. So with the sweat that comes out here, you will make sure that the humidity actually starts to boil the ingredients of the pot. Good. The next thing that we do is we've got our mushrooms, which I've already sliced up. I've got 4 here, which I've washed and peeled. And I do exactly the same again. Start cutting them like this. Yeah. Do the same here. So I didn't do this one properly, so I just did this. I love cooking. Cooking is something that relaxes me, and I enjoy the smile it puts on people's faces. Sometimes it's not a smile. When I experiment, sometimes it can't go wrong, but we do have sometimes the odd surprise when we say, what the hell happened here? But we keep that one to ourselves for now and don't talk about that. Okay, so here we go. We do exactly the same as we did before. Put the mushrooms together. Boom. Okay, can you see? So now this is coming on nicely. Yeah. Okay, so we can turn it up a bit. Back up to 7. Now, the mushrooms go in last. They will sweat a lot. Mushrooms consist of 70% water. So you will see that in a minute we will have a lot of fluid in there, which will set the base for our rice to go in. There we go. So we mix it all up like this. And you can really put a little bit of salt in, because the salt will draw a little bit more fluid out. Not a lot. Just a little sprinkle of salt. And you can see. One thing I didn't do at the beginning was the zucchini. So we're also going to stuff the zucchini, which I mentioned. So what we do here is we cut off, after it's been washed, we cut off the edges, cut it once along the side in half, lengthwise, and we take again the grapefruit spoon and we just scoop out the inner. I love the grapefruit spoon. It's such a versatile little tool. Yeah, there we go, number 1 and number 2. And you can actually feel that you're doing it correctly. Is the serrated edge actually cuts through the flesh of the vegetable, and it has a nice feeling of, like when you tear paper along a serrated edge. It's a very nice feeling. So we've got all of the ingredients here. Okay, they will then become part of the stock. What we do with them is we blitz them with our blitz stick, something every chef should have in the kitchen. Now this could go wrong and go everywhere, but let's hope it stays within the pot. There we go. So these are all the ingredients, from the tomatoes, make sure you puree everything. There we go. So it's a really nice little paste that we've got, or little vegetable juice. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. So you can already hear that it's boiling and there's a lot more fluid in the pot. We put our juice in, and then we add the rice. Washed pudding rice. We wash the starch off. Okay, so now we give this a nice stir, and we let this rest, or we let this cook slowly, so that the rice will actually start cooking. And the stuffing, I'm going to put a little bit of water in there as well, maybe half a cup. And then we will wait for it to that is not a dry cough, is it? Okay. There we go. So we're now going to let this cook and put this in with our other vegetables. Presentation is always very important, I think. So we keep this, we make sure that we've got some nice colors in here. So yeah, we do it like this, okay? Good. We can put this one on the top. We don't like to get things to waste, okay? There we are. Okay. There we go. And that's the first bit. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, welcome back. We've had this now on this oven on the stove for about 15 minutes, but 10 minutes. Come and have a look. We'll show you how it looks from the inside. So as you can see, if you have a look here, the rice is about 50% done, and it's a nice stew of vegetables. What we have to do now is add the parsley. Now there's a saying about the parsley, you either add the finely chopped parsley at the beginning or at the end. I'd like to do it at the end because I tend to think that the color is important. If you put it in right at the beginning, it tends to go black, so we keep it in now, and we just put a little bit of pepper. Put enough salt in before, so we put some ground pepper in. Okay, Jamie's pepper, Jamie Oliver. There we go. We don't like to advertise, but actually this peppermint is not too bad for a supermarket peppermint. A little bit of paprika. There we go. Not too much of that. And we give this a good stir, and then we're done with this. And then we're ready to stuff the vegetables. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we've got our vegetables here. So here we've got the zucchini, the eggplant, the paprika, or the pepper, and the tomato. And I've got a few lids that I kept here. Good. So as I said, yummy stuff is stuffed vegetables. Let's switch this off. Boom. Okay, here we go. We get a nice big spoon. Yeah, and we start stuffing. Let's start with the easy ones. We start stuffing the peppers. This. Okay, just about this much. Okay, and then let's keep them upright. Because the rice will still expand a little bit, so you don't make sure you don't keep it, you don't fill it to the top. Okay, and then you've got your tomatoes. Yep, and the last tomato. Okay, peppers. So if you can see, the parsley is so nice and green here. So the Italians would put Parmesan cheese on there, but see, this is a Cyprus dish. We're actually going to use a mixture of sun-dried tomatoes, tomato puree, a vegetable stock cube, which has been dissolved in hot water, in about a cup of, or 3/4 of a cup of hot water, the tomato puree and the sun-dried tomato all blended together to make a beautiful stock. There we go. Okay, we're almost ready to rock and roll here. So what we have to do now, before we carry on, switch on the oven. We put the oven onto fan at about 190 degrees. There we go. Make sure that the cakes are out that you baked beforehand. Yes, nothing in there. All right. Okay, busy household here, cooking and baking the whole time. So now what we do is we take the mixture that I just told you, and we just put a little bit over the juice. Put the juice over the stuffing. Yes, like this. Now I spiced this. Or I mean, I didn't spice it. The stock cube has got enough spice in it to actually cheat a little bit and add some more flavor to the dish. And with all of the other juices that we've used, this is fantastic. So, and the rest of the juice you just put in between, so it boils it. And then last but not least, what would it be without your single malt, like your single estate olive oil, Greek olive oil. You just trickle that over. Really nice like this. There we go. Now, put the lids back on. So normally the lids, the peppers are the easiest. The tomatoes sometimes can be a bit difficult, so it should look like this. So if you see the dish, before it goes into the oven, it'll look like that. So this will now go into the oven for about 50 minutes at 190 degrees fan, and we'll see what happens then. So we will wait with anticipation. There we go. Our stuffed vegetables. Let's get a plate. There you go. Number one. And number two. There we go. Let's see. It's gonna be hot, but let's see. Let's see if I've passed the Cypriot test. Darling, let's see. Είσαι καλά. Bravo. There you go.